After 2-week break, One Piece finally returned, and the adventure in the Elbaf Arc continues. The Straw Hat Pirates still have not yet set foot on the land of Elbaf, but the arc is well undergoing, with a very exciting adventure on the fake Elbaf currently ongoing. Along with that, we were recently introduced to a mysterious person known as the Sun God, who was most certainly going to be incredibly active in the story from here onwards. One Piece, Chapter 1128, gave us their first glimpse of the Sun God, and at the same time introduced many other elements regarding the current predicament that is being faced by half of the crew. The Straw Hat Pirates continued their exploration of the fake Elbaf in Chapter 1128. The Big Stein Castle, which was previously introduced in the story, was essentially revealed to be a fake castle. It was clear for the fans to see that this was a toy and that this Lego city wasn't a real city. Some giant has clearly created this fake world, and this person loves to play God. As to who this person is, we already know that the one responsible for doing all this is known as the Sun God, who the people of this fake city know very well. The Straw Hat Pirates were not well aware of all these things at the beginning of the chapter, but as the exploration continued, they found out quite a lot about it. The Straw Hat Pirates left the Big Stein Castle and wasted no time regrouping and discussing how they got to where they were. This was essential for the crew to finally formulate a plan and find the remaining members, and at the same time get out of this mysterious place that they found themselves in. We also saw a completely new character being introduced in this segment of the chapter. Surprisingly, this character was not a giant. Instead, it was a normal human on a grasshopper-like motorbike, which was a big surprise. If this land was truly Elbaf, everyone there would have been a giant. The clothes they had would have been giant-sized as well, as was pointed out by Usopp, who was very smart. Essentially, the mysterious person they came across told them to not head in a particular direction because whoever goes there never truly returns. But this was an adventure for Luffy. He immediately rushed towards the exit, where they clashed against two gigantic creatures. A giant snake called Hilmungandr and a giant crow known as Mugen were up against the Straw Hat Pirates, and without too much trouble, Luffy and Zoro dealt with them. Zoro took care of the crow in a single swing of his sword, while Luffy took to using Gear 5 and delivered a powerful haki-coated blow to the snake. Of course, with that, the entire fake world started falling apart, especially when Luffy crashed into a mirror, which was later revealed to be one that reflected a fake version of the sky inside to give the people the feeling that they were actually surrounded by a real atmosphere. With Luffy running into the giant mirror, it became clear that the world was created by some mysterious individual who loved to play God. We could also see outside the world, and it was clearly a giant ship, which also had a specific room with a dollhouse. The individual who steers this ship loves to play God and even designs clothes with the sewing machine for them. In fact, this person is so dedicated to their craft that they even put fake animals' houses and clouds inside the world to make it look real. At this point, this goes beyond just a hobby and is an obsession for this individual. Thankfully, we were able to see the Sun God in their true form in this chapter, and it certainly lived up to the expectations of the fans. The Sun God has a very interesting design. We saw them wear a deer skull with a thick fur coat and a staff in one of their hands while a shield in the other. The shield depicts the sign of the sun, while the staff also bears the resemblance of the sun on the top. Unfortunately for the Sun God, the moment they entered the room, they could see Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates trashing the snake and the crow. At the same time, the Straw Hats were attempting to escape. This would naturally incur the wrath of the Sun God, and now, conflict with this particular individual is well and truly underway. Clearly, the Elbaf Arc is going strong at the very beginning. The Straw Hat Pirates quickly started making their escape thanks to the cat they defeated in the previous chapter. Riding atop this cat, they are now trying to flee from the Sun God, who is currently chasing them. Of course, their goal is to escape this world, which they most likely will in the next chapter. At the same time, the Sun God, who is clearly upset, promised to not let them go, which means that a confrontation between them is going to start very soon. The Straw Hat Pirates might break out of the world soon enough, and when they do that, a fight with the Sun God looks likely. In this fight, we will finally get to see who the Sun God truly is, and at the same time, how the Straw Hats fare against them. The true identity of the Sun God has also not been revealed to the fans just yet. While this could truly be a very high-ranking giant, such as Loki, as many fans are predicting, the design this character bears might be similar to Hel, which is the Norse goddess of death and ruler of the underworld. Perhaps Oda drew some inspiration for this character from Hel, and it will be interesting to see what role they end up playing in the upcoming chapter of One Piece. For now, it is safe to say that One Piece 1128 was an incredible setup chapter for what is to come next. And now that the mystery surrounding these individuals has already been solved, an escape is on the cards and arrival on the real Elbaf shouldn't be too far either.